I'm Michelle and this is Michmash. Today I wanted to talk about Emma Watson's book club that she just started. Emma Watson, as I'm sure you know, she starred in some movies you may have heard of called the Harry Potter series, and she is a UN Women's Goodwill Ambassador. She recently helped launch a UN Women campaign called He for She, which calls for men to advocate for gender equality. In being a Goodwill Ambassador, she's began to read lots of books and essays about the feminism movement, and she decided to start a book club. It's called Our Shared Shelf, and it's a group on Goodreads. The group has about 80,000 members, so there's a ton of people on there, and they're all bringing up discussion topics, and there's tons of stuff going on there. I think it's going to be interesting to read the books that Emma chooses. She's going to be choosing different feminist books and essays, and that's an area that I don't really read very often. I read a couple of feminist books last year, and I'm interested to read more about the topic. I might not read every single month's selection, but I have been reading this month's selection. So the book selection this month is My Life on the Road by Gloria Steinem. I don't have the physical copy with me, but I have it on ebook, so here is the image of the front cover. So I was talking about this book with a coworker of mine who is middle-aged, and she was like, of course I know who Gloria Steinem is, and I had to admit that I didn't really know who she was before I picked up her book. And I had heard her name, but I just didn't really know what she had done. So this book is perfect for me. So I did a little bit of research and found out a little bit more about her. Gloria Steinem is an American feminist, journalist, and activist. She was a leader and spokeswoman for the feminist movement in the late 1960s and early 70s. She's written several books and lots of essays and articles. She wrote a regular column for the New York Magazine and founded Ms. Magazine, which is a feminist magazine. She popularized the phrase you may have heard, "A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle." In another article she wrote, she cited gender, not race, as probably the most restricting force in American life. She also characterizes herself as a radical feminist. As you can probably tell, she is quite polarizing and possibly controversial. I'm not sure if I agree with everything she has done or said, but I do consider myself a feminist. I'm interested to learn more about what she's done and what she actually believes from reading a book written by her. Gloria Steinem is now 81 years old, and she just published this memoir, My Life on the Road, in 2015. I am about a quarter of the way through, so I haven't finished it yet, so this is not a book review. So far, the book is talking about her early life and how she was introduced to this nomadic lifestyle of always being on the road. When she grew up, her father was an antiques dealer, and they lived in a trailer, never staying in the same place for very long. They would travel all across America driving around in his trailer. As she grew up, she thought she was going to rebel against this lifestyle and stay in a house with a 9-to-5 job, everything that goes against how she grew up, but she actually ended up living a lifestyle very similar to how she grew up. She spent a majority of her life traveling across America and the world, speaking in different universities at different conferences and lectures, advocating for feminism and feminist rights. The last thing I've read in this book is how she was at the March on Washington in 1963, where Martin Luther King Jr. did his I Have a Dream speech. Reading it gave me goosebumps, imagining hundreds of thousands of people on the mall in Washington, D.C., a place I'd been to recently. Imagining them walking up to the Lincoln Memorial, watching Martin Luther King Jr. say that speech. It gives me goosebumps thinking about how important that moment would have been. So anyway, I'm going to hopefully finish that book this month and be a part of the discussion on the Goodreads group. Remember, I will link that below, so please join the group and let me know if you are reading this book as well. And I will be sure to talk about this book at the book club more at the end of the month. Let me know what your favorite feminist book is below, and if you're going to be taking part in Our Shared Shelf with Emma Watson. Thanks for watching. See you later.